So, honorifics. Honorifics in Korean.
But you don't honorify yourself, right? You said?
That's right. You don't want to honorify yourself, so you need to know how to do it correctly. So, what are things that we can do to honorify?
List names or just period?
So, well, it's good. It's a good question. It's a good point, I guess. What's the difference?
Because like when you honorify someone's name, you can put she at the end of it to make it more
Okay.
polite.
Sure. Yeah. So that's a good one. So she, right? We'll put that into person's name, right? That's kind of just saying Mr. or Mrs. Right? Kind of. That's kind of a way to do that. So it's more polite. Absolutely. So yeah, right. Normally there's yo, right? We put yo. That's not really honorific. That's just more of a polite thing, right? So this really isn't honorific. It's just kind of being polite. But one way we do that, at least with verbs, right, is we use she. Okay. So this adds directly to your verb stem. Okay. And you just add she to it. Now, again, just like you said a minute ago, can't use this on yourself, right? So if I'm saying I go, like I go to the store, right? I wouldn't say 저는 가게에 가십니다 or something like that. Like that's wrong. You don't say that. You don't honorify yourself. If you're talking about maybe your mom, right, or your grandpa or your teacher or someone who's higher in status than you, then absolutely you want to use this all the time. It's a good habit. It really makes you sound, I don't know, dignified, I guess. Is that the word? I guess. Yeah. Anyway, it's good to use.
But you said that some of the politicians that they do honor.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you listen to the news, politicians, they'll use this all the time when they're talking to each other, on the news, all the time they use these forms, all the time. So it is important. And if you go to like a restaurant, they'll use this too for you because you're the customer. So it's not like a lot of people think, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't need to learn all this high form honorific stuff because I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to talk with my friends. Well, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe you won't be using it a lot. Maybe some people won't. But you will hear it. So you need to know it. Right? You need to understand what it means. Okay? So, this is how we do it with verbs. So let's try to make a sentence. Let's say, my mom went home. Okay? So we'll just say, Mom went home. Let's make it really simple. Mom went home. So what's the word for mother?
Oh wait, mother or mom?
Which one do we want to use if we're using honorific language? Okay, 어머니. Oops, let me make this right here. 어머님, right?
It want to be give, right? Because that's where she's going. Because that's who's going. And then would be give for where they're going. And the subject. No, she's the subject. Mom is the subject.
Okay, yeah. So mom's the subject, right? So we want to make her the subject, right? So mom goes home, right?
Not there's something you're supposed to put next to her name.
Okay, so we have 님, right? We know that's another honorific that we use very often, so we can put that one up here. So 님, it's another honorific. We have that on here. And we need to give her a subject, right? She needs to be a subject part. Now, right now, we're just going to put un, okay? Okay, we're going to come back to this in just a second. We're going to talk about this, because since we're talking about honorifics, we're going to talk about something that's a little bit different with this. Okay, but 어머니는, where is she going? Okay, 집.
So that means house and home then.
So this means home. Now, since we're talking about honorifics, we will come back to this one also in just a second. And what's the verb to go? Ka, right? 가다. 가다 is the verb. Okay. So 어머님은 집에 가다. Okay. Now, we know this is actually, let's say So mom goes home. We'll just say, we're going to keep it in present tense, not past tense. We'll keep it present tense, okay? So mom goes home. Now, how do we use our honorific for that?
So
Verb stem plus
the she.
she, right? Okay, so verb stem on this is what? Get rid of the da.
Yeah. And then there's no punching.
Right? So this just itself is the verb stem, right? Good. So,
we're not doing past tense. We don't have to put the
yep, yeah, we don't need to do that since we're saying this is just, we're just going to keep this present tense, okay? So we can just add directly to the verb stem, she, okay? Now, this is really, I should correct, this is really she da, because, we have to further conjugate this, right? Okay. How would we further conjugate this? Let's say we she da. Now let's just conjugate this just like we regular would, okay? How would we do that? Okay, get rid of the da, right?
There is no punching. So
No pachim, good.
and there's the E.
E, yep, page 90. There you go, perfect. There you go.
So E and then all. So you had all.
Okay, so all, it's all. So for E, it becomes ya. Ya, right? Ka, sho.
There's no punching. That's right.
Right. So it becomes ya. Now, we could leave it like this if we wanted to, but let's put yo because we're trying to be kind of honorific here, right? A little more, so it just sounds better. Okay, so 어머님은 집에 가셔요. Okay, so I can say that, and that's a perfect sentence. Okay, now, two things I want to talk about here. One is this first marker here. Okay. So this is okay sentence. We can leave in there if we want to, but I want to bring up that there is actually, which is kind of, again, this is a little bit more advanced, but there is an honorific marker for subjects. Yes, there is an honorific subject marker, subjects that are people. Okay, just for people. And that would be queso. And I need to make sure I check my spelling on this. Queso. Let me check my spelling on that. If you have your phone.
I sure do. I also have my Google Translate.
Yeah.
Just there it goes. I have a Google Translate.
Mm-hmm.
I have the slowest one inside of Korea.
It's okay. Oh, it's right here. So yes, I spelled it right. Good. Okay. Good. Yep. So that is the honorific topic marker. And that takes, so for nun, or iga, either one of those, okay? That was what will replace it, all right?
Can you write that next to this so I can make sure?
Sure. So we would get rid of this. 그래서 okay.
Oh no, sorry. I wanted to write and the ones that they pertain to.
Oh, what? So you want me to,
If you could just
like what this means? Or
you said that when it comes to none and the other one, that's what you use.
yes, so this, basically this replaces nun or iga.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now that you have that, now that I've told you that, I'm going to break that rule. just a little bit. I know I just told you that, and I'm sorry. But what you will hear very often also is, in addition to this geso, they'll put a nun at the end of it too. A lot of times they'll just put a nun on this too. Okay, geso nun. They do that. You don't need to put it on there because it's understood. It is known that it is the subject marker. But sometimes they also put the nun on there too. Okay? So with or without, it is fine. Okay? Good. So, make sense?
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm reminded about your movie. What day are you actually leaving Arizona?
Oh, that'll probably be this upcoming weekend sometime.
Oh, you're legit leaving like right away.
Yes,
So we can't even like do dinner.
we might be able to. I'll talk with everybody here next class. We'll figure it out, okay? I know. I'm sorry. Everything happened fast for me too. I'm sorry.
I can't hate on them. Like that's like your dream. I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll try to keep you guys in the loop, but we'll talk about all this next class. Okay, so. Next up, Jeep. So there are yes, there is. Interestingly enough, so there are some words that we have honorifics for. Okay, and it depends. There's several, and we have some here listed in the book that you can check out. But this is in book 3, so I'll show you after class. But for Jeep, for house, the honorific they'll use is deck. Okay. So you just replace Jeep with deck.
That's so confusing.
Okay. Yeah, there's some words like this that you'll hear, but there's not a ton of them. And you'll learn the most important ones, and then the truth is you won't hear this very often, really, anyway. But it's good to know. Okay. So, not only are we honorifying mom in here.
But just make sure that's still house. It's just the honorified version of the word.
Yes, correct. And you're basically you're honorifying their house because your mom's going there, right? So these are words very often when people are speaking high about something or a subject, they'll use these other words too that are honorific, okay?
Is that usually just for like nice houses, or is this like anyone?
It has a feeling of more luxurious, I guess, kind of nice. Yeah. Okay.
So do you still keep the A or just the?
You keep the A, correct. Yeah, the A stays. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then we leave kashoyo, which is fine. Okay. So, just kind of interesting how much honorifics you can do in a sentence like this, right? There's a whole bunch that you can do. Right? Yeah, there's a whole bunch that can go into it. All right. So let's look at some words here. Let's see if you can make the shida forms in. Okay. Tell me when you. Okay. Yeah. Let me know when you're done. Yep, mom is going home, basically. Okay. So let's say I have a word like teach, to teach. What is the word for to teach?
I just said this last name. No, that's teacher.
No. Karuchida. Okay. Okay. That means to teach.
So would the honorific version of that go towards professors then? Because there's a teacher and then there's professor.
So, okay. So let's talk about that. Teacher and professor. What's the difference?
One's higher. Is that how it works in Korea? So I know here, we have teachers and we have
Yeah.
We have like regular teachers, and we have university teachers, and we have university teachers who have what's that word? Tenure.
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of the same there. Yeah. So it's the way the same you'd use teacher and professor there, basically, right? Usually for college students, I mean, you call your teacher professor. Usually have at least a master's degree or a PhD, right? So usually in those cases, you call them professor. So it'd be the same in Korean. So the word for teacher is, you said, 선생님, and professor.
Oh no, that's a teacher. Sorry. No.
That would be, oops, sorry, 교수님. Okay, this is
so they mean
professor.
right? So that one's there.
Right. And this is teacher. Okay. So if you're talking about the professor doing some kind of teaching, you would want to use this, one of these words, obviously, 교수님 or 선생님. And we're talking about teaching, so we need to honorify their teaching. So if I want to say, the professor taught, okay, we'll make it a very simple sentence. The professor taught, okay? Oops, that's right. Professor taught. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. Now, let's see if we can make this sentence and honorify the professor at the same time too, okay? Okay, so professor is?
It is
교수님. Mm-hmm. Good. 교수님. And then we want to honorify the professor. So how do we do that? queso. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a hard time with that. I'm hoping some cheese.
That's okay. It's all right. It's all you learn. And we can put nun on this if we want to, but we don't have to. That's fine. So 교수님께서, and then taught. Well, we have the verb right here, so let's put that in. 가르치다. 가르치다.
So these are, can you say it?
가르치다. 가르치다. Okay?
It's very helpful to watch people's mouths when they do
Good, yeah. You'll see people's lips go back when they do that. It helps make the sound. 가르치다. Okay, so we have this. Now we want to honorify this also, okay? Because we're talking about the professor, so we're going to honorify him. How do we do that? We use she, okay? So it's added to the verb stem, so we're really just making a whole new thing.
There's she.
She, shida. So the whole thing is shida, but she. So remember, this is she, and this is she, all right? Okay?
You have to intensify your mouth with that one, right? So it comes out. Well,
Right, yeah, it's a little more pronounced. The more air it comes out. Okay? So, first thing we need to do, we need to get rid of the da. Da is gone. Okay, what do we add?
she.
Good. So she, da. We can just put the whole thing, okay? And then we do another conjugation, basically. Okay? So, 가르치시다. Now, taught is past tense, right? So how do we make this and put this into past tense? Well, first thing we do, obviously, get rid of the da. Okay. Exactly. So the 상시its will go underneath. Good, perfect.
I finally get something and you're leaving me.
I know, you're doing great. But what did I forget to do here?
Because we didn't conjugate that. Right?
Good, right. We need to make sure we conjugate it too. That's part of doing the past tense process. Right? Sho. Sho. Okay? And now we can just go ahead and do the rest of the conjugate. So what would that be?
So professor taught. already did the past tense.
All right, we did the past tense, so we did this part of the past tense, right? We did the base, basically, of the past tense. So now we need to finish the rest of the conjugation, right? Which is
I'm confused now. Yo.
oh yo, right?
Yo. I was like, wait. I looked and I was like, yo, and I was like, no.
Yeah, yep. So how do we say this? 가르쳐줘요. Okay? 가르쳐줘요. 교수님께서 가르쳐줘요.
One more time.
교수님께서 가르쳐줘요.
And how do you write?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said 쇼쇼. I'm sorry. 가르치셨어요. Excuse me. That was my fault. 가르치셨어요.
I didn't even know.
I did. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh, whoops. No, that's not right. 가르치셨어요. There we go.
So,
Yeah.
how do you write that? Like, is there a comma? Or is this go straight across? Is there a space between?
Between this here.
Like the whole thing? 'Cause like, are you writing?
So there's going to be a space just right here.
Okay.
Just this part right here.
Is that squiggly thing there? Can you pull up well, I don't know how to put it, but I've seen like this little.
This thing, okay, this right here you're talking about?
Yes.
So all this is saying, this isn't mean really anything. This is just saying, we're talking about verb stem, and this is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this doesn't mean anything. This isn't like an attachment or anything like that. This is just saying that this, and then we needed a way to like separate it, so people weren't confused about what it is. That's all that is.
Okay. So they don't have like commas or anything like that.
They do, but that's a much more recent phenomenon. Usually they don't use commas very often. They'll use periods. They use periods, but of course, they don't have anything like upper and lowercase letters. They just don't exist. So do they have commas? Yes. Are they common? No, not really.
Like,
Hyphens, things like that they do have, but usually it's mostly just periods for the most part. Queso. 치쇼. 써요. Good. 가르치셨어요.
I was studying that part where the pachim eats the silent letter. Because like I remember the sharks, and I was like, oh, the pachim.
Yeah, there you go. Good. All right, let's practice with just other words here. So hada. Let's make this. I want this past tense. Past tense. With using shida.
Oh, shida. So, we're doing the whole pajim. Okay, sorry.
Yep. Okay.
And then there's no pajim.
No pajim.
We have the A. So that means it stays A then. Overlay the A.
So shida, right? We just put the she right in.
Right.
And
then in this past tense we need the thing in the bottom.
And this too, right?
Yes. And the yo.
So what do you notice here?
That all of them have their cells going. Do need double S's as well.
Yeah, I know it's hard. 쉬었어요.
Is at the end of all of them.
So yeah.
That's for like.
So if you can just memorize, if you want to, if it helps you, you just want to memorize. Okay, past tense, it's going to be shoyo.
And that's honorific. You don't use that if there's anyone that's on the honorific version.
Right. So this is kind of the nice thing about using this form, is that once you learn it, you just stick it onto something and then it just it just kind of, how do I say it? It's easy to remember how it conjugates because it's always going to kind of conjugate the same with the shida, right? Shoyo, or shoyo, or shosoyo, or shigessoyo, right? It's always going to be the same.
Always past tense.
The past tense, yes, it'll like that. Shosoyo. Right. Now, don't forget though, if we have a padchim here, there's going to be this thing there, right? Before this. So it'll be something shosoyo, right? So for example, if we have ikta, right? Which means to read, right? Yeah, 읽으셨어요. 읽으셨어요. To read, yeah. So read, honorifically read, basically is what you said. Okay, so keep that in mind. But remember, but look, this didn't change, right? Still the same. You just need to add this if you have a padchim. That's it. So that's the great thing. That's the great thing about it. It makes it very, very easy to do. Because it's always going to end the same.
That is nice. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So red, that's the honorific version of red.
Yeah, basically. All right. So let's talk about some other words that are honorified. Can I erase this now? Okay.
My niece is going to be a little bit late.
What's that?
My niece is going to be a little bit late.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I got plenty of time tonight, so. I'm sorry. All right. So, a meal, or we can say cooked rice. Right? That's right. The word for that is pap. Okay, that's the normal way.
You can ask someone,
Pap 먹었어요? Mm-hmm. It's a greeting. Yeah, it's a type of greeting. Mm-hmm. Good. Right. Yeah, perfect. You did. And then the honorific way to say that is jinji.
There's an honorific word for rice?
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Before we end class, can you write the top exam for me?
Sure. I'll write them. Okay. Name. How do we say name? 이름. Mm-hmm. 이름. Okay. There's an honorific for that too.
That makes sense. If we feel too self-expectant,
Or if you want to meet someone you haven't met before and you want to know their name, or if I'm talking to someone older than me, so I use this very often, right? I would say, 선생님, 성함이 어떻게 되세요? You know, what does your name become, literally, right? You ask them, I'm honorifying using this word.
So 선생님 is not always just teacher, right?
Doesn't have to be. It's just a title that we're given some. Remember we talked about 호칭, right? 호칭. 호칭? Yeah. Or is it chin or chin? I'm sorry. I think it's chin. You want to check that real quick? Just make sure I have the right spelling. Thank you. I always tend to spell things wrong.
Me too. I spell a lot of English and Korean.
I don't know why I always do that so much, but.
You have a lot going on. It's okay. There's a lot of words and languages to learn. Hochin?
Mm-hmm.
It just says Hochin.
Let me see real quick.
There you go. I don't know if I'm just doing Google Translate.
I'm pretty sure.
I also have the dictionary one, the green dictionary.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that at?
Just right next to it.
Oh, okay. Yes. I prefer to use this.
I do too. Because Google Translate, sometimes it's just weird. I'm like, no, that's not right. So is your wife excited about your move too? Or?
Oh, Ching there. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I did spell it wrong. Yeah, of course, yeah. She's very excited. She's in Korea right now. Ching, I'm sorry. Ho Ching. There we go. So, title or name, right?
And that an honorific or just a title?
This just means a title. You gave them a title. So you gave them Ho Ching, okay? So basically, it's just you need to give them some,
Because you can't just talk to people.
Right, exactly. Okay, so yeah, so for 이름, 성함. 성함이 어떻게 돼요? Right, I would use this for maybe someone who's older than me. Right, I wouldn't use this for a kid. I've done that before, and they actually didn't even understand what I was saying, because no one has ever used that word for them. So it just makes sense, right?
So you still use something like that for your father-in-law, or do you have more?
I use the honorifics, yeah. Mm-hmm. I try to. It's good. They understand that you're a foreigner and that you don't always have to, but.
So what about like your personal in-laws?
I try to. Yeah, I try to because it's a lot more respectful. So it really shows that you have a better grasp of the language, basically, if you can do that. Okay. So age, 나이. And 연세. Okay. For age, the word 연세. Birthday. 생일. 생신.
I like Wednesday. So they don't use the word day then?
The 일, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, gets replaced by shin. Mm-hmm.
So I learned il is day, one, and work.
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm. Has all those meanings.
Very confusing.
Mm-hmm. It's different now. Remember, what's interesting about that, it might be the same in Korean, but if you go back and look at the Chinese character, they might be different, right? So even though they have the same reading in Korean, if you go back and look at their Chinese characters, they're going to be different. Even though the reading comes out to be the same in Korean. Okay, can I erase these?
Yeah, so song is birth.
It has, again, this also has several different meanings. The most important one is going to be the sex or gender. That's what it means.
No, the word for sing, for birthday.
선생님, or the sang, I mean life is where it derives from. Yeah, basically, you can think of it like that. Okay. Not to be confused with different sang, which means like fresh.
So there's life, fresh, S.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spell it in English. S-A-N or S-A silent letter?
You'd sang.
Oh, no. I'm
Oh.
going to write it. There you go.
This, yeah, sang. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is life,
Yeah, life.
fresh, you said?
Yeah, it could also mean fresh. So, for example, 생맥주, you'll see that if you go to Korea. 생맥주, so 맥주, fresh beer, so like tap beer, basically. Mm-hmm.
And life.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'd have to go look at it. I'd have to look at the Chinese character. Some of them, you know, but some of them, I don't know. Like, I'd have to go look. Maybe Koreans could tell you. A lot of them could. I don't actually know them all.
Gotcha. I was just curious. I think I try to break things down too.
It's good. That's actually a really good way to do it. That's the best way to learn Korean. The way that you're trying to do it there. Break it down by each one. That is how you're really supposed to do it. That's the best way to do it. A lot of people just try to memorize everything. It's better and easier to figure out words if you know the individual meanings, because then you'll run into a word that maybe you don't know, and be like, oh, it probably means this, and you can figure out words very quickly that way.
That's how I do my homework, by trying to break all the words down.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lonzo.
Yeah. So since I'll talk. Like, here's an example. This is. I just really like this example because it's really demonstrates that really well. So 삼각대. Okay. If you look at this and you know what each of these is derived from, you'll be able to find out what this means really quickly.
Isn't gago?
Let's look at each one. So 삼. Do you know it?
The number of that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good. Okay. So 3. Okay. 삼. Gak. This one's harder, but I happen to know this is like angle.
Oh.
Okay. This means like angle, basically. And 대 is like a pole or a stick. Okay. So what would be a 3-angled pole? Yeah. Tripod.
That makes so much sense.
Right?
That actually makes sense.
Yeah. Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
Think about the way you break it down. Because this word comes from gakdo, basically. Gakdo means angle. Okay. 대 is itself just word pole, and 삼, 3. 3-angled pole, right? Tripod. So, it can really help you out. Learn words like that. Okay? Words. 말. Okay.
There's an Honorific word for words.
There is. And it is 말씀.
Wait, 말하다 is to speak?
말하다 is to speak. But this is just word, basically. 말. Not 말하다 means is the verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can get rid of the hada and just have it by itself to mean word.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So 말 and 말씀, again, this is the noun form, which means word. But honorific.
Actually have the word actually in it.
It's got 말 in it too, right? Yeah.
A lot of them like take out the word altogether and it's like,
If it helps you remember it. Okay. Sickness. Not everything, but there's a few. Okay. 병. And this isn't all of them, but these are the important ones.
Did they say why? Was there a reason why these specific words have honorifics?
That is a great question. I'm not sure why these specific words are used for honorifics. I don't know. I wish I knew. Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking to a doctor, it makes it.
I don't know. Well, a lot of these words are very common. Sickness, words, age, name, birthday. It's kind of relating to people in a lot of ways, right? So, person. Okay. So 사람. Okay. Do you know the other one?
Not at all.
분. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of boon means a lot of things. There's different markers that are boon and different things like that. But it means minutes and things like that too. But here it also means for people, person, basically. Okay. We did house already. We know that one. Okay. Okay, us. 우리. Okay. And 저희, 우리, 저희가. Okay, we.
Oh, you can't do that yourself. You just want to yourself. Sorry.
So when would you say that? 저희.
Oh, that's us and we, so that's not yourself.
Yeah, so a little different, right?
Right.
Okay.
I saw you pointing to yourself and I was like, wait, you can't.
Yeah. Okay, got those? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these. Those are all the words basically. There's some other ones, but those are like the big ones you're gonna run into like the most. 95 or more % of the time. That's probably what you'll need.
So does this thing on here like, if it was like news or like where would we hear these?
Yeah, in the news, you'll hear them frequently. And even, I don't know if someone's up giving maybe a speech or they're referring to you, or maybe they're talking about your family. You know, maybe you go meet someone for the first time. Maybe you're meeting with their parents or something, they're talking to you, and they're going to ask, about your parents. Yeah, and they'll ask, so the whole time they'll be honorifying your parents because they're being polite, right? So you will hear it, okay? All right, now let's talk about some verbs that are honorific, okay? So eat, okay? And I'm going to put drink right under here too, okay? So eat. What is the verb for eat? So, yep, 먹다. Mm-hmm. And the honorific for that, do you know? 드시다.
Yeah, I never really guessed that.
드시다. Mm-hmm.
Is that the same with drink also, or we're going to have a lot of fun for drink? I know that. Is drink, no, milk, is that to consume, or is the word drink to consume?
So this is consume. Mm-hmm. This is basically it means to consume. Correct. Right. Now, 드시다, this is kind of an interesting word. This is actually derived from a different word, 들다. It's, don't worry about it. Basically, what this gets conjugated into, because it's from that weird exception word, this is the she form of it, but really, almost 100% of the time, what you're going to say is deseo. Okay? You're going to use this seo form of the word. Okay? So, you're going to really use this, deseo, okay, when you're talking about someone else. So. And you'll hear this all the time when you go to the restaurant. They say, okay, deseo, 많이 드세요. Mm-hmm. So this is what it is. They're using the honorific form, telling you to eat. Okay? Yeah. So, 많이 드세요. Okay? This is where it comes from. Okay? Drink. What's the word for drink? 마시다. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's okay. 마시다. And again, I'm just gonna same thing. Okay.
Oh, same.
Yep. Use the same one.
Ooh.
Just use that same one.
Do they have a non-conjugated version, or is it literally just the same one each time?
You can use that, or you can 마시시다.
Mashishida.
You can put she on it if you want to, but we'll just say 드세요. Or, for more informal, 마셔요. 마시세요. You can say 마시세요 using the same. You can. They'll probably say 드세요, whatever. You can use it for both. Okay, to give. To give is 주다. Okay. And the honorific form of that is 드리다. Yes, 제가 드리겠습니다. Right? So in other words, when you're doing for a person who is higher status than you, you would use this basically on them, saying that, oh, I'm going to humbly do this for you. Right? It's a way of showing honor, you're honorifying them. So you're going to use them. Okay? 제가 드리겠습니다. Okay. And then let's do a minute. Let's do one more here before we kind of wrap it up. To sleep. Okay. To sleep is 자다. Okay. And the honorific form is 주무시다. So, for instance, say 주무세요. You'll hear people say that a lot. They don't have the she on there. It actually takes the place, like up here. Remember how this took the place of it? 주무세요, right? Good night, basically. 잘 주무세요. Sleep well. Okay. There's a saying in Korean, say 돼지 굶구세요. Dream of pigs. Yeah, 잘 주무세요. 돼지 굶구세요. Dream of pigs. That's a good thing. If you dream of pigs, it's supposed to be good luck. It's like good fortune. Yes, so there's a lot of things. Interesting things. It's very different. You know, my wife always told me, if you got killed in your dreams, that's a good thing. It's supposed to be like good. I don't know. It means you're gonna have good luck. I don't know. So she said it was a good thing. I was really? That's usually a bad thing here if you die. But there apparently it's a good thing. So they have derive different meanings from it. So good. Anyway, these are just some of the words that are honorifics. Okay. Different words you'll eventually have to learn. Okay, you'll hear them all the time. And there's more. There's more in the book. There's, again, it's not a definitive list. There's other things too, but.
That's the third book, not this one.
Right, this is the third book that we're looking at. So eventually, yeah, you'll get to them. But it's nice to know them because you'll hear them, okay? You just know that they exist, so it won't throw you off when you hear them, okay?
The books like progress, so one is like basic and then.
So if you start from book one, you start at the beginning and you start going through, we're not going to introduce anything new until, as you're going through is only when you learn new stuff. You shouldn't learn a new word or, you won't learn anything new unless we introduce it in the chapter. Okay, so there shouldn't be any new words as you're going through. Okay. We won't use, some weird grammar form you've never seen because we only use what we've taught so far. It's just building progressively on what you've learned. Okay. So that's why it's just start at the beginning, go through. It's the best way to do it. All right. Good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there for this.